What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CUFC YouTube channel. It is Matchday 38 here in League 2. Carlisle United take on Bromley at Brunton Park this coming Saturday. Now, just a quick one before we get into it. There hasn't been a Matchday reactions in quite a while, and that's purely just because, off the top of my head, Barrow I didn't go to. I wasn't at the Walsall game. The Barrow and Harrogate game I watched on telly, but not fully watched. It was more just in the background. And Wimbledon was the first time, it seems like ages since I've been to Brunton Park, and it would have just been the same reactions as it's been week in, week out. And I just didn't want to make that video. But there is a special video coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But Bromley, the Ravens, founded in 1892. Their current manager is Andy Woodman, and they play their football at Hayes Lane, which holds 5,150. And from Hayes Lane to Brunton Park, it is 662-mile round trip, which will take you around 11 hours and 37 minutes in the car. So safe travel to any Bromley fans making the trip up to Brunton Park this coming weekend. Unless your name's Harry McCurdy, I hope it's a horrible journey for you. But the previous 5 games then, Bromley sit very respectfully in 11th position. Carlisle, of course, bottom of League 2, 9 points from safety. And that 2-1 defeat against Wimbledon, a 1-0 defeat against Harrogate, a 1-1 against Walsall, a 1-0 win against Barrow, and a 0-0 against Gillingham. Bromley, on the other hand, 2-2 against Walsall, a 2-1 defeat against Tranmere, a 1-0 win over Doncaster, a 1-0 win over Wimbledon, and a 1-0 defeat in the hands of Bradford. So very much sort of your mid-table sort of side there from Bromley, picking up a couple of wins, but very unpredictable week in, week out, whether it's going to be a win, a loss, or a draw. But last time we did meet was way back when, at the very, very start of the season in November. It actually wasn't the start of the season, sorry. It was early on in the season, but not as early as I thought it was. Dan Adju, a 92nd minute goal, give Carlisle a point on the road. It did finish 1-1 between Bromley and Carlisle, in front of 3,700 people down at Hayes Lane. Hopefully Carlisle looking for a better result this time around. But Bromley do have some decent players like McCurdy, as much as it pains me to say. Michael Cheek up front, very clinical player. But this is what I would go with, and you're probably looking at that and thinking that is a very different side to normal. But I thought Stephen Wern against Wimbledon, he came on in midfield and he actually did quite a good job for me. I thought Bevan actually looked bothered. He was actually trying to take people on. He was using that pace. He tried, to be fair to him. So this is what I've gone with anyway. Gabriel's in net with a back four of Archie Davis, Sam Lavelle, Terrell Thomas and Cameron Harper. I then got a midfield two of Callum Guy and Callum Whelan. Just in front of the midfield, I've got Stephen Worm, sort of a centre attacking midfielder, centre mid role for him there. Then on the left wing, I've got Kadeem Harris. On the right wing, I went with Joseph Bevan. And then up front, I've got Matty Dennis. And that would be my 4-3-3 for Carlisle against Bromley. Very different, I know. But I think we do really drastically need to start picking up wins, or we could be lights out before the start of April for Carlisle United. But looking at the match today predictions then, I've got Notts County 3, Crewe 1, AFC Wimbledon 0, Barrow 1, Bradford 0, Colchester 0, Carlisle 1, Bromley 1, Cheltenham 1, MK Dons 0, Chesterfield 3, Harrogate 0, Fleetwood 1, Tranmere 2, Gillingham 2, Walsall 1, Grimsby 0, Newport 0, Port Vale 2, Morecambe 1, Salford and Doncaster is postponed this weekend, and finishing at the county ground, Swindon 4, Accrington 2. I remember with a 1-1 between Carlisle and Bromley. I think Bromley sitting very comfortably in that mid-table position, probably have enough to get a goal against Carlisle. I think Carlisle can nick a goal back against them. I think the height and the power of Dennis definitely does help us as a squad. But I think that, I think a 1-1 is a fair result. I think we already know who Bromley's goal scorer is going to be, of course. But for Carlisle, I'd like to say Matt Dennis score, maybe a header. But one thing I did take from the Wimbledon game, we definitely need to get them crosses a little bit better, because every single cross was hitting the first man angle, the goalkeeper was catching it. So get the crosses in, get Dennis on the header. Hopefully it's better than the 1-1. I'd love to be proven wrong than for us to get 3 points, because, God, we drastically need 3 points. But thank you so much for watching this 5-minute preview. As I say, there is a special video coming soon. But thank you for watching. Thank you for the support on the channel, of course. I have been CUFC, and I'll see you in the next one.